just about this father who has kind of aligned himself with this sovereign citizen extremist group. And he is now trying to impart this ideology onto his son. And we kind of see the back and forth between him and his son kind of experiencing the world and kind of questioning these ideologies that his father is showing him. And he also sees, obviously, kind of things that are going on outside of that. And he's wondering, is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? And we kind of follow that along. And then ultimately, we kind of lead up to the tragedy.
Yeah, and Kezia, on the other side, then we have a bit of a manhunt in terms of the police department trying to track him down, and this is where Dennis Quaid comes into the question in terms of his sort of pursuit, and he's the one, dare I say, trying to prevent such a tragedy occurring in the first place.
That's right. So we do also have the second pair of fathers and sons, which is Dennis Quaid's character, Sheriff Bouchard, and then we also have a character played by Thomas Mann. And so he is kind of training his son in a way as well to be a great police officer. And so we kind of see that dynamic as well versus this dynamic. And then we also do have Thomas's son as well. He has a baby son that lives with him and his dad. And so we see these three different pairings and kind of seeing three different styles of parenting. And it may be right, it may be wrong, you're not really sure, but you kind of follow each journey separately.
And Kezia, where does the character Candace Jeffers fit into this movie?
Yes, so Candace lives next door to the Canes, Jerry and Joe, played by Nick Offerman and Jacob Tremblay. And so she doesn't really interact with them very often in person because they're traveling often for their seminars that they do. So mostly her interactions are actually through social media with Joe, played by Jacob Tremblay. And it's so interesting just seeing how the relationship forms through social media because social media can often be seen as like an antagonist in movies. But in this case, it actually is an escape for Joe. And he kind of finds my character through social media and also obviously seeing her next door. And it's kind of an escape for him just to like kind of see like this everyday life of like a kid around his age.
I was intrigued about filming social media sort of scenes for actors in terms of Zooms and Instagram lives and WhatsApp lives and sort of stuff. Are these filmed separately, or is the actors that are portraying them, are you in the same part of a room but the camera goes, there's two different cameras going from one to the other in terms of different parts of a studio setup, or is it completely different takes?
Yeah, it's interesting. Most of the content that we ended up using was actually from my actual life. Pictures that I had taken or that my sister had taken of me. So yeah, so that's mostly how we did that. There are some scenes where um, Joe is looking at my social media on a computer or a phone. Those scenes, we just superimposed those pictures and stuff into the screen. But yeah, but we never filmed anything other than a few scenes where maybe I'm singing in a choir or something like that, and then you see that video. Most of yeah, my personal photos and videos were mostly used, with the exception of a handful of things.
Okay, and Kezia, how did the opportunity come about for you to get cast in Sovereign? And before you were cast, did you know the likes of Nick Offerman and Dennis Quaid were attached to the movie?
So our amazing casting director and producer, Barbara McCarthy, cast me in this beautiful, amazing film. And I auditioned just like how we are right now, on a tape. And yeah, I sent in my tape and, it was obviously like a back and forth thing. They were all so kind, her and Alice at her casting office. And yes, I did know that Dennis Quaid was a part of the film, and Nick, and Jacob as well. And I couldn't believe it when I got cast in it because they're all obviously very established, very successful, and amazing talents. So yeah.
And Kezia, where was the movie shot in terms of location? And did you spend long on set in terms of your scenes? Was it maybe shot over 5 to 6 weeks? Did you spend a week, maybe 2 weeks max in terms of your own character?
Yeah, so we shot in Arkansas, in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I had a funny filming situation because I went and then I came back to New York and then I actually went back again. So yes, I went
That's
for
a
about
long trip, Arkansas to New York. That's a
yes.
fair bit of mileage.
Yes. Yeah, so I flew to Arkansas for about a week and a half, came back home, and then I flew back for about another week and a half. So I guess I'd call it 2.5 weeks. I don't think it was like a full week and a half for the second round. So 2.5 weeks of me being there, getting to know Arkansas. Um, yeah, and it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. We were right by University of Arkansas too, so.
Oh, in terms of an actress, in terms of that, in terms of downtimes to be role, is it just maybe that something producers or directors get an idea and when you're casting, oh, we have something now that we've come up with, we want to know, can you come back and shoot this? Or had you left thinking that you had most of your filming done, or were you aware that you might be called back or for another scenes or
Yeah, no, I knew ahead of time exactly what my filming schedule was going to be.
okay.
So yeah, so I knew that I got a week off, which was exciting because I like wanted to come home and tell my family everything about the first half of filming. So that's exactly what I did. But yeah, no, I knew ahead of time. I literally have a perfect schedule that tells me this date to this date, and then fly home, fly back, and then this date to this date.
Mhm. And Kezia, while you were on set, did you get to pick Dennis Quaid's brain an awful lot and pick up one or two bits of handy tips about the business?
Oh my goodness. All of Jacob and Nick and Dennis are, like I said before, obviously very well established. I think, first of all, Dennis, I loved him from The Parent Trap. Like ever since I was little, I had always like known about him, and known the name Dennis Quaid. So we shared, his trailer was next to mine on the last day of filming. So that was actually my first time seeing him, funny enough, because our scenes were just like never really together. But just watching him, honestly, I hope that doesn't sound so strange, but just like how he moves, like as an actor and like as a professional, it's just really incredible to watch. I mean, he's truly so well established, like in this industry, and yeah, no, him and Nick Offerman's the most funny person I've ever met and so eloquent and intelligent. Oh my goodness, like just having a conversation with him, like you will quickly realize that he is easily the smartest man in the room. And also such a talented guy. And then Jacob, who I love so much. It was just so fun to film with him as well. So yeah, all of them are extremely, extremely great. And I got to just learn from them just simply by watching them alone and obviously speaking to them as well. But yeah.
Exciting times with the movie premiering on July the 11th, and I suppose busy times for you now in terms of publicity. Are you a bit sort of, it was only this time last year in 2024 that you finished up filming, so to be released a year afterwards, it must be a sort of quick charm that there's not a long wait. I speak to many actors and actresses who filmed stuff in 2021, 2022 with COVID and the writer strikes, and only now they're beginning to hit the big screen. So, and to have that sort of a turnaround, it must be fairly exciting. There was no real long wait there, I say, for you to dwell about when it was going to be released.
Oh my goodness. And you know what? Even with the year, which is not a long time at all, I was just so anxious and just so excited to see the final product. Yeah, no, it was a really great turnaround. Just having like that year to just kind of like digest and realize that, oh my gosh, I just, shot this amazing film, and I did speak to our director Christian Slagle and our producer Nick Macheri a few times. While we were, in the process of, obviously they were editing and doing all these great things to the film. Yeah, and now to see it, I saw it at Tribeca, and I cried and I was just, just so overwhelmed by just how great it was. And I'm just so happy that the world is going to get to see it next week.
And have you done, as a cast, have you done your premiere in terms of that? Is that still upcoming or?
Yeah, so our premiere was at Tribeca Film Festival on June 8th. So we got to do like cast photos and we obviously had our carpet and our screening, and then afterwards we had a Q&A with the cast. And yeah, so that was on June 8th. And we did that.